Week 4, Digital Storytelling. I'm going to look at a couple ideas for combining physical science and digital storytelling. So the first question was, what kind of lesson plans can you develop using storytelling and the tools that you explored in the course so far? As humans, we all have relationships with food. What if I could teach chemistry through looking at food? One popular documentary series recently was Samin Nosrat's Salt, Fat, Acid, and Heat. I haven't read the cookbook or watched the entire documentary series, but I feel like this could provide a structure for a unit or a course and get students excited about the chemistry in their lives. I could have students use storytelling tools to create a digital cookbook that not only has short recipes, but also contains information on the chemistry, history, and the student's point of view behind foods, correlations with salts, fats, acids, and maybe later on heat. Some questions that I could ask to get them thinking about this could be, what is the chemistry behind what you eat? How can this help us as scientists, consumers, and chefs? How do you think salt, fat, acid, and heat contribute to your favorite food? A question that I could ask at the beginning and the end of the course to see how thoughts have changed. How can you tell your story with salt, fat, or acid, and later heat? To get them started with digital storytelling, there's a video I found through the University of Houston website about the 7 elements of digital storytelling. I'll include that in the Sibaloo that I'll post a link to down below. So moving on to another lesson in physics. Once again, the first question was, what kind of lesson plans can you develop using storytelling and the tools that you explored in the course so far? So the other thought I've had is combining storytelling with the physics of motion. Lately, I've been thinking about ways to expose students to understanding universal design through physics lessons. Maybe students can tell stories through the lens of a person who uses a wheelchair or crutches or is blind, or even a person without a mobile disability. Everyone needs physics to assist their mobility. Stairs, ramps, doors, shoes, bikes. How can we tell stories about these things through using physics concepts? Once again, the second question. What questions could you ask your students to get them thinking? So with this idea, I would ask, how does physics power your life, move your life, affect your life, culturally or negatively or positively? How does physics get us places, both big and small? Now, the third question was, could you find ways to weave a story throughout all curriculum areas and how? So through either one of these lesson ideas that I've had, I think it would be easy to use the story making to incorporate different sciences, history and cultural significances of the food, ingredient, or design. Art could be incorporated via graphic design, film techniques, or sketching. Throughout all of this, I feel like writing and or language arts concepts are going to be used to tell an effective story, especially if I include resources on how to tell an effective story. So right now, I feel like my thoughts are pretty general on these lesson ideas. In order to provide students with specifying goals and to help them explore different forms of creativity, I'd like to provide them with rubrics that allow room for creativity, but give direction. And the other idea from the readings this week that I liked was choice boards, which provide examples of different types of digital storytelling, or that would provide examples of different types of digital storytelling or different topics. It would be a new thing for me to try that might be great. So, thank you.